Tracy Taylor again. I appreciate all that information. That's great information to have. Thank you for acknowledging some of the comments on Facebook.
Well, I chose
a lot of people couldn't be here. No, I appreciate that. It would have been nice for you to go.
Well, I'll leave
Oh, well, okay. Next time call me, okay, and then I will say.
Well, I didn't have all of it.
No, it's. I'm thanking you for today. So I don't.
Tracy, one thing that I want, if people have, I think Mike stated this earlier, if people have questions or don't know the exact answer to answer it on Facebook, I'm not on Facebook, I don't do it. Please call me, come see me. I don't care how long it takes. We'll sit down for 5 hours if we have to and discuss every line in the budget, everything we're trying to do. And then when you go to answer these questions, you have the answers, or at least like the answers that I think are answers.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. And just a comment about Facebook is that's where the people are. So you're wanting them to come here and sit in this room and talk to you. It's very difficult, especially around the holidays, to get people to come here. But there's 4,000 of your citizens on Facebook pages that would take you, here, go to this link to our website. Here's the information on our website. You don't have to compile the information specially for Facebook. I'm just saying, think about going to where the people are, and that's Facebook.
The first part of next year, they can sit home and watch us on TV.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I was about to say that. We're going to start installation this month. We expect to go live at the beginning of the year for a camera in this room that'll live stream. You
Great.
can watch it online.
Great, thank you.
One point of order. On
I know, I'm starting to do this.
on November 14th on the Wasatch County page on Facebook, it was posted that the budgets were online and available for people to view.
That's what I said, that they've been posted.
Well, okay, so what we need to do on the Wasatch Politics page, who I don't run that page, but I'm just saying that Wasatch County page has to get dialed into the politics page. You guys can post, go to our page.
I'll check
I think the problem though,
It's there for you guys to use, is all I'm
one
saying.
point on this. I understand your point.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good one. However, what if somebody starts Wasatch County Politics B and C and D? I mean, it's a never-ending cycle.
Well, we can worry about that when that happens.
But I think it has.
I just don't think it's...
Well, I do think it has in a way because, like Don said, we have created a Wasatch County page for Wasatch County on Facebook.
Okay.
And so that would be a good place for people to go.
And when I go back there, I will find that page and I will tell people to go there. I will help you do that, okay? Since we're talking about the website, which is not anything that we're supposed to be talking about right here, you only have a month left.
No, I
okay?
don't. I got 3 meetings.
Oh, okay. Your website is great, but you have a community tab up there that if you go click on community, you get all these SSDs. And all those pages go nowhere. They go to nothing. And so my hope is that the Parks and Rec SSD, the Jordan L SSD, all these SSDs, you don't even have to do anything, just click to their web page or put their budgets. All these budgets you're going through in the next couple weeks, they could be up on your, so we don't have to go find every SSD's
We just need them to keep up their pages so that link is active and works.
There's nothing on your page, there is nothing, when you click on those SSDs, they go, there's nothing there. So
Probably because there's nothing there. That's what I just said. We need to update.
well, this Parks and Rec budget, it'd be great if it was under that page. So please use those pages that are set up that are great. Okay, let me get...
FYI, Tracy, for ours, obviously we haven't had an IT person in our department or But right now, last year we hired a sponsorship advertising person who is starting to manage our website. So now we don't have to send it to Dawn and have Dawn put it up and us look at it, make sure it's good before he sends it live. We actually have a full-time person in the office that is doing that now. So our website is getting better. Does that?
Oh, and it's there, I mean, the capabilities of your website is actually really great.
Okay, we
It's just-
need to keep it to the...
So let me get back to the Parks and Rec budget. Most of those questions that I came to ask was answered. Thank you. A couple years ago, I stood up here and I asked, hopefully respectfully, that our event center and our rec center should have a profit and loss statement. We should know how those facilities are doing. We, as the Wasatch Taxpayers Association, Grandma requested that information a couple years ago, and what we got was every transaction ever done for a year and a half for Parks and Rec. And quite honestly, we were told the event center's somewhere in there. You go find it, basically. I'm hoping 2 years later that we can have the council pass a motion that says we want this to start happening in 2017. I don't think that's a lot to ask, quite honestly. Those are two huge facilities. We have an idea. I mean, our Parks and Rec director has a much better idea than we do in this audience of how those facilities are doing. But I think for you gentlemen, as the governing board of the Parks and Rec department, you should have that information, a profit and loss statement for both those facilities. And let's really see what the gentleman was talking about of charging fees for certain facilities and what kind of revenues we're bringing in, what it costs to put on every event at the event center. How much does it cost the citizens to put on an event? I think that's a fair question as a taxpayer. The one other question I've got is the impact fees that are charged to the new construction, Mike. How much is that? Is it per, I mean, is it a set fee that's charged, and how much are they being charged?
You know, it's a value charge, isn't it?
It is square footage charge.
Square footage charge. It depends on the size of the dwelling. There's a formula for it, and they have to pay that fee to the treasurer's office or the clerk's office. I'm not sure they pay that fee to. But
Well, and I agree with you.
we have three fees. We have a park and rec fee. We have an emergency services fee, which could be the sheriff and or the ambulance, and we have a roads impact. We have all three of those, and in fact, they'll be on the agenda later on. But I think right now there's probably Park and Rec. There's probably $100 and some thousand or something like that. We're using that, but it can only be used for things that are on what's called a capital improvement list. So when you charge an impact fee, you can only use it for that, and you only have 7 years to use it. And if you don't use it in that 7 years, you have to turn it back to whoever paid that. So we have to come up with those projects, and projects that we've had with Park and Rec are on that capital improvements list. So we've looked ahead and said, okay, what are we going to do in the next few years? We have this project, this project, this project, this project, and we can assign that then depending on how we receive it. There were years we got zero. You know, you go back.
Oh, yeah.
You know that. I mean,
I got zero too. Yeah.
There were some zeros.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Thank you. May I suggest the council take a look at that, maybe with your audit that you're thinking about doing? Audit those impact fees. Let's see. I totally agree with you. There's a lot of new families moving into town that are definitely impacting our Parks and Rec department.
Well, that's a whole new study. You have to justify those fees.
Which they just did a study in 12.
Who's they?
The council did did an impact fee study. Was it in?
We did an update. somewhere around 12. Where
Around 12.
We could do it again. Every 5
The
years.
law's pretty clear though, what it can be used for, and it has a certain amount of time.
You
when the
bet.
study's done, it has to be within the study.
Well, may I suggest that we look at that as part of that audit?
It's
That would-
possible you do.
So I'm asking you tonight again to please pass a motion to start a profit and loss statement for the event center and for the rec center. And to what degree, I mean, you figure out, you know, what it needs to have, but we have an economic developer that we taxpayers pay for him, Ryan Starks, that could possibly help with this to start doing profit and loss statements. I mean, we're paying him a salary, so
The difficult thing with that, Tracy, is how do you measure the indirect benefit that comes to the community?
that's outside of this though. We should be knowing what the utilities cost, what the salaries are, what the fees, what
Yeah,
revenue are we getting
can
to
do
come.
that, but we can't show the full return because there's more.
That's fine though. We understand there's this multiplier effect that, you know, happens to certain degrees. Okay, we understand that. I mean, we understand it helps the businesses on Main Street, and I want to help the mom and pop businesses on Main Street, believe me. But we should be able to see. I think we're
Yeah, but it's not a finite number.
exactly, and that would be disclosed when you present it. Thank you very much.
Diana had a question.
Let me address the profit and loss. Tracy's right, utilities, I can do utilities in a quick hurry. When it comes to equipment, even staff, I've got the event center staff over doing park stuff on occasions. I've got park staff at the event center. I've got staff, thank goodness my staff is willing to go to any direction I point them. So to be able to put a number, which, like I said, it's not going to be a finite number. It's not going to be exact. But utilities and things that say event center on them, I mean, that stuff's pretty. But it's going to be a number that's going to be. It's not going to represent the full picture.
Every month, we have a Parks and Rec District meeting here.
We do.
And we have all the expenditures and revenues presented from each department. Each one of your department heads at that meeting,
Correct.
typically,
Correct.
every month.
Every month.
In a public meeting in this room.
We do.
I just want to make sure that's
Okay.
clear.
So yes, I can talk with. I guess I can get with Brent or Barry or even Ryan or whoever and see if there's something we can do. But I just want to make sure the council understands that when we put those numbers together, it is not going to be the full picture because of shared things. And I really think that we have saved the taxpayers a lot of money by having these things under one roof. If the event center had to have its own equipment that we could not share, that would be expensive. If we had staff that was just for one department and could not be shared, that would be more cost to the taxpayers. So, yeah, Tracy, I will look into it.
Thank you.
Diane, did you have a?
I do, yeah. I have a question about the fees. You said that South Fields Park gets used, and I've been by there, and there's cars parked on both sides of the road. You can barely get between Heber and Midway because there's so many cars there. Can't we, I mean, if all these people are playing, kids are playing soccer or playing baseball, can't we assess them a fee? And when they sign up for these teams so that to help defray some of these costs?
Yeah, there actually are fees in there. Soccer, for example, I think it's $37. Is that right? $37 to play soccer. By the time we have balls, goals, referees, we're probably into 32 a player. So there is a little bit of money in there that goes back into helping operate and maintain the facilities. But I can't charge the mother that takes her kid to the playground. I can't charge the kid that brings his skateboard down to ride at the skate park. Or, you know, a group of guys that play Sunday night soccer. You just can't charge those people. So in the grand scheme of things, Southfield Park is getting used tremendously, but we can't charge the fees that we can at a team roping. You know, if somebody comes and rents the event center for a team roping or a barrel race. So I hope that made sense.
Yeah, that
All
makes
of the
sense.
organized programs pay their way.
Yeah, because what you said was that you weren't charging, so that didn't make sense to me.
I do want to make it perfectly clear that the programs we run, like junior jazz, Little League baseball, soccer, they are all self-sufficient. They all pay for themselves. We ask the taxpayers for absolutely nothing to help put those programs on. Now, do we ask the taxpayers to use their facilities? Yes, we do. But we do not ask them to help buy soccer balls and baseballs and things like that.
Can I just make one comment?
Yes, I'm sure.
I'd just like to address, I've heard a couple of times tonight, basically how wonderful the federal system is, on how they set up.
No, that was the basis of my
question.
I know where the fat is.
This is a joke.
Well, the way they set their fees and everything is totally wrong, in my opinion. The way Wasatch County is doing things, they study it each and every day. What the federal government is doing and what they have done to law enforcement, that's all I'm going to speak about, is they are the reason we have to get this $300,000. They have cut their budget for the past 4 years 15%, but they still expect us to cover every one of their calls, and they don't provide a law enforcement officer anymore. They do absolutely nothing. So the federal way of doing things, they're broke. They have nothing. We're still here.
My comment was predicated upon, if I had my way, I could cut the federal budget by a third easy.
40%, 40%.
Okay, all right.
Okay, any other comments from the public? Now, we'll close the public hearing, and council, back to you.
Mr. Chair, I would make a motion that we continue this until the 21st, allowing further public comment by in writing if they so choose, and then take this up at 6 o'clock on the 21st.
Second. So we close the public hearing, but they can still send comments to
That's the motion.
individual councilmen or...
I actually said continue, but I'm okay with that. If we close the public hearing except for written responses if they want. That's fine.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll vote. Councilman B?
Yes.
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 I'd ask a question on, she talked about the cars lining the roads. Did we resolve that issue?
We sent a letter to UDOT asking them to.
And Diana is a pretty good driver, by
And
the way.
I did get a call back from UDOT, and they have approved it. He had.
They just approved.
Oh, okay. So we asked UDOT to put no parking signs on the north side and the south side of Midway Lane from 805 West to Southfield Road, and UDOT did approve that. The only question they had is, do we want both sides of the road? So we do.
And we've already put a parking ordinance on Southfield Road, so
Yes.
you can't park on there either.
Use the parking lots. That's the way we built them. So there will be no parking signs there next spring.
A lot of times the parking lots will be empty on the road, but
Let me rephrase that. UDOT said there would be, how fast that happens.
Well, when I've been by, the parking lot's been full and the road's full, so, you know, I mean,
Yeah, but what people don't understand, Diane, is there's a ton of parking on the south side of
the road and
Yeah.
just go into the, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you just have to walk an extra 10 steps.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, item number 3,